Hello guys, this week in the newest Laravel 9.35, Taylor Otwell has released a new syntax for mailables. Don't worry, the old syntax is still working, but there are changes we need to discuss. So what has changed, why, and how does it work now? So previously, until now, until 9.35, this was a typical way how to build a mailable class. So first you run PHP artisan make mailable, for example, order shipped. Then you have a build method where you build basically everything from subject, view, and attachments. It's a pretty typical list of parameters people add for emails. And then in your controller, for example, you have something like this: mail to, send, order, shipped. And I have a dummy first order with just one field of description. Inside of the email I have just this order description, and that's it. So the controller part didn't change in 9.35. The view part didn't change. What did change was the syntax of the mailable itself. So in Taylor's opinion, that one build method for everything doesn't really reflect the different parts of the email, which are three parts. From and subject is kind of like an envelope. If you think about the mail, kind of like a signature before you open the mail, right? And this is exactly what Taylor called the new class envelope. I still think, by the way, that Taylor is a genius when it comes to naming things. So these parts are envelope, this part is a content, and this part is about attachments. So this is exactly how he separated the things into separate methods instead of build. The new syntax goes like this. You have envelope, which returns the class of envelope, and inside of that envelope you may have parameters with named attributes of PHP 8, so from, subject, and others. And this is optional. The from can be taken from the global configuration. Also, there's an address new class, which in constructor has address and name, for example. So that's the envelope. Then in the content, you return the content class, which has a view and may have other parameters. So if we go to the constructor, we have this list of parameters. And then the third part is attachments, which returns the array of, attachment classes. In other words, instead of one method built for everything and chaining everything, we have three different methods: envelope, content, and attachments, with their own respected classes. And you can read all the logic by Taylor in his pull request with examples. And at the end of the pull request, he mentioned a very important thing in bold: the traditional way of defining mailables using the build method will not be removed. So to be honest, I really like how Taylor presents the new syntax lately for things, so the old syntax doesn't get removed. Similar it was with accessors and mutators in Laravel 8.77. Remember, they became attributes, but the older syntax still remains. So it still works. Some people prefer the new syntax, and the main part, the documentation, has only new syntax. So the old syntax is removed from the latest version of the documentation. So new people coming to read the documentation have no idea about the old syntax. The docs refer only the new syntax. And then at some point the old syntax may be deprecated, maybe in the future, when too few people use it. And then some content created in tutorials and courses start adopting the new syntax until it becomes maybe more mainstream. Or in some cases, both syntaxes still remain popular, and that's totally fine. As you can see here, quite a lot of people celebrated the new mailable syntax. The final thing I want to mention here: if you run now PHP artisan make mail, for example, order created, it will generate the mailable with the new structure. And not only that, let's take a look. It generated order created mailable class, which has constructor, then envelope, content, and attachments. So there's no build, but you can create it manually if you wish. An interesting thing, subject is auto-generated from the name of the class. So this is the code in the mail make command. This new replacement is kind of a nice small cherry on top touch to this pull request. What do you think about this one? Will you adopt the new syntax? Or maybe you don't like it? Why? Let's discuss in the comments. If you want to receive more news about Laravel, new syntaxes and changes, of course, subscribe to the channel. I will keep you informed about more important ones. And if you want to support my mission, visit my Laravel Daily.com renewed, refreshed blog and subscribe to that, become a premium member monthly or yearly to receive not only all of my premium courses, but also premium tutorial set of tutorials. Every week I release a new one, and this week the newest premium tutorial is about text editors in Laravel, practical examples of 4 of them with image uploads, which is typically the biggest struggle for developers trying to adopt the editor. That's it for this time, and see you guys in other videos.